So I'm excited to see how they will match up.
England, defending European Games champs, looking to make a bracket run here.
And England will win the initial run-up as they'll go immediately on the offensive. A missed bobble pass, and Austria will come away with it after that. That was number 34, McCartney, who ended up missing that one. That would have been a goal.
Yeah, McCartney, early jitters. This is England's first game in this tournament. Matt, as you said, India and Austria played earlier today. India winning an absolute barn burner.
It was a nail-biter to the end. India had a solid lead going on, and Austria brought it closer and closer, got the flag catch, and then finally it was a win, 220 to 210, I believe was the final on that one.
Early jitters here from both sides, a few missed passes in both directions.
Yeah, they're both teams looking to come out hot. I think now England is maybe starting to settle in as they are, well, we'll see. We'll see exactly what's going on here. Waters on the handle at the top of the key. And there might be an advantage call as Waters finds McCartney behind the hoops, but stoppage before McCartney can score.
Not sure. There was definitely no penalty on ball unless Waters also got caught by that beat that hit the England beater.
We'll see what our call here is in a moment.
Yellow card, number 4, wrapping without a ball.
That is a yellow card on number 4. They have not specified the team, and that is
Oh, it's going to be
England.
an England beater.
That's Lucy Barrington, number 4, wrapping without a ball. And I believe that'll be a turnover to Austria.
It will definitely be a dodgeball turnover, and it's also going to be a quad ball turnover.
I know that you'll have rosters, but these stay at this table.
So Austria has a question. They were the Austrian captain was very, I'll say pernicious, very talkative with the referees last game. As Austria will go for the scrum, and McCartney, yeah, you just got to leave it alone there, is beat, and Austria will come away with it.
That's the rest of his team set up there on defense, though, and Austria is now going to get their first half-court look at the game.
Right, that is Richie now bringing up the ball for Austria. Please forgive my pronunciations. Austria with dodgeball control. They're doing some high pressure in the offense. Richie's driving left, looking for that. And it looks to be there was some kind of foul there as Richie's shot was high.
That's going to be net contact on Ben Malpass of England.
All right, so Malpass will take a trip to the box, and now England, very early in this game, has 2 in the box.
Two in the box. Austria needs to score here.
I don't know if this is just early jitters or is this going to be a pattern, in which case that will be difficult to deal with. So Richie will have the ball pretty close to the hoop here.
Should be able to make this shot.
Yeah, Beck's low, the only defender to beat, as he makes the move to the inside and puts it through the top hoop.
Austria first on the board in this game, taking an early lead 1-0.
So now that'll put England back up to full strength at beater with Barrington back in. Waters will bring up the ball, and the lone English bludger, or dodgeball, excuse me, in the middle on the ground.
Huge dodge from Orridge.
That's Mikey Orridge. And the feed to McCartney is good, and it's a good, and Waters is fired up after that one.
McCartney with the dropped pass in the very first possession of this game. Sure hands now. I think those pre-game jitters are gone for him.
Absolutely, and a head and shoulders taller than the entire Austrian defense, I should say. As Richie will drive it in once more, and another one through the top hoop. That is good for Austria.
His Austrian game plan might just be to get dodgeballs in front of Richie and let him run.
Waters is on a tear. He's on a run. Feeds inside to low. It's a good goal. And that was an incredible transition goal from England. And now with that hard finish from low. England able to get themselves back into defensive position. Austria making some line changes here.
Game time, 3 minutes.
It's Verger, number 23 for Austria, on the ball, passing over to number 52, Tasreiter. On the far side, and it looks like Barrington was there to suss it out for England, and that'll be turnover, England ball out the back.
Yeah, not a good pass there. The dodgeball was right on top of the receiver.
England will make a couple trades as well as Waters passes off to Brett to go substitute. It's foul pass to Brett. Brett shot low, picked up by Veal. Back to Veal. Beat coming in, misses Veal inside to Brett. Brett scores.
England with their first lead of the game, 3-2.
And we're seeing some high-powered offense here early on. I'm wondering if this will continue.
Yeah, I would love another high-scoring game. They're certainly exciting to watch. Austria with the 18 goals against India earlier today.
It was an incredible game. It was very hard fought, as it looks like the English keeper is pretty upset. That was, Veal, and it was some neck contact on the Austrian chaser number 49, Reitenja. And that advantage call will send Veal to the box, who is not happy about it.
Certainly, as you pointed out earlier, this could not become a pattern for England. Lots of people in the box. If Austria is able to stay in this game and catch the flag runner, as they were able to do in their game against India, they could pull off an upset here, which would really hurt England's chances at a medal.
Absolutely. We'll see if they are able to cool it down, especially with some of the breaks built into the game because of the weather later on. So it's a beater face-off here as England will maintain control. Pass back up to Reitenja. And it was just kind of a wild throw that England was able to scoop up, and so they'll go on offense now. Kind of a wasted possession for Austria.
Yeah, Lisa Schultz was able to get it out under contact there, but then the pass never really got back to her.
England now going on offense. That's Emre over to Brett as Veal is still in the box, and England's on offense, a player down. Oh, missed at the point, but a follow-up good from number 23. That's Amer Jeffrey.
Beautiful goal there from England to make it 4-2. They're really looking to use their physicality down by the hoops in this one, and they were even able to score that one while down a quad ball chaser.
They've shown a lot of physical explosion on offense. The English manager not willing to hear anything from the Austrian side.
Yeah,
he said, "No, you're not talking to me until after the game."
That's a good shot there for Austria.
That did not look like it landed. And is there a stoppage or no?
There's no stoppage, and the goal was good. The head referee thought it went through.
There was just seemingly confusion there.
And
he just dropped his broom and was looking at the referee. I'm not sure.
Right, I don't know. The quad ball went way off pitch, and that's what was the slow up was there. Was about.
So now England returning to full strength. Veal back in. It's Amer Jeffrey on the far side. Back to Brett up top to Veal. Back to Amer Jeffrey, blocked at the point. And that's recovered by number 24, Schultz.
So 4-3 here. England still in the lead, and a goal here. Austria pulls back even after going down 4-2.
And we have a stoppage. I'm uncertain what the stoppage was for.
Yeah, there's not really anything going on when the whistle blew.
Perhaps a substitution foul. That's the only thing.
That's the only thing that was happening. Yeah, you're
That's
right.
the only thing that was happening was people were substituting.
I just figured that out.
It's a no call, according to our head referee,
Yeah.
Polner.
You're doing great. Thank you.
Still conferencing here. I'm
One AR called for remount while another is still discussing with head referee Michael Clark Polner about something.
In any case, I think we've seen a lot of explosive offense on both sides of the ball. Both teams really looking to just kind of. There's been barely any setup of offense. It's just kind of like, yeah, put yourself in position and then make one pass and drive, and like that's been it.
And it's been effective so far against these two defenses. We'll see if any adjustments are made.
Number 8, Mitterauer on the far side for Austria. Pass inside, blocked by Amer Jeffrey.
Great play from Amer Jeffrey. The exact kind of change in look that we were looking for from that defense. Knocked down the first pass.
Far side to Veal.
Oh,
Unfortunately, threw the ball right into the beater as now there's a scrum for it. Austria comes away with it. No, the
Orridge has made some beats. That's going to be a turnover to England.
Bill Orridge going wild in the keeper zone.
That should be England ball. Casey Wajbard fell on it, was immediately beat. England was the first to the ball, and she turtled up. I think she thought she'd been beat by her own player, did not let go. It should be a turnover to England here.
Been a lot of referee conferencing today, although it's kind of like a, what do you expect?
You're going to get a lot of that from this crew, I think, all tournament. Very thorough, and now as both teams' speaking captains are off to talk with the head ref.
Well, when you're traveling halfway across the world to compete at the international stage, you want to make sure that you're arguing every single call. You want to give your team the best possible chance. Whether or not the referee team hears you is an entirely different matter.
And England has been awarded the quad ball.
So off a really wild play by Bill Orridge there, as Veal feeds into Brett, who is back in the play.
Missed
Brett,
shot.
oh, you want that one back. It was a real wind-up there and just completely missed the hoop.
Ed Brett, just put it through the hoop. You don't need to put that much on it when there's no hand in the way to block.
Seriously, he really wound up for that one.
Austria getting away with one, still only down 4-3 and a chance to tie this one up. We're getting pretty late into the game to only be up 1 for England. You're sure they're not happy with how this game is going so far.
England still holding on to dodgeball control, although it's in a little bit of contention now. Not sure why the quadball game wasn't taking advantage of all the beaters being out of the play. But nevertheless, the pass blocked by England, picked up by Waters. He's going to do a big over-the-top feed. It's good! A dime to Malpass.
It's not how I want to run my team if I'm the coach, but when those hit, they're a lot of fun to watch. Excellent on-target pass there to get behind the Austrian defense.
I think Waters realized he was not in a position to beat the Austrian defense back into place, but Malpass was already down the field.
Definitely.
Mitterauer dodges the beat, running the mile, defended by Waters. Passes off. It's Felix. And the beat turns it over to England. And Malpass is going to go all the way, and that transition goal is good for England.
So it's not good news that England is struggling to score in the half court. They're going to have a lot of trouble advancing through the brackets if they can't score in a half court. But it's great to see that they know how to score in transition, run as a team. If that's how they need to run up the score in some of these games, so be it.
And they have had dodgeball control for almost the entirety of this game, which is certainly helping their case on defense. It is forcing the Austrians to pass outside. You'll see that they have a relatively spread out 2-2 defense. And oof, that was a nothing shot from Mitterauer.
Yeah, missed
I think
right on the tall hoop.
I think that was a shot of frustration.
Yeah, I mean the England and Austrian beaters traded dodgeballs, and then the second English beater who wasn't beat elected to try to keep control instead of preventing the goal. Mitterauer saw a lane, took it, saw someone standing in front, and said, "I'm going to rip a shot."
It was just really far out. I don't know. They're going to have better decision making when you have these like muddled plays in the middle where your beaters put all the balls on the ground. Like you have to capitalize on those. Waters whips it downfield to Malpass once more, back to McCartney, and McCartney finishes. And that combo passing, Waters, Malpass, McCartney, it has been killer.
For everyone watching at home, look at what McCartney just did. He was being defended one-on-one. He cut inside his defender to make sure his hands would be the first to the quad ball. Easy finish after that.
And if you'll remember me saying earlier, McCartney is the tallest guy on this field. It is hard to not hit him with a pass.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Very hard
is,
to hit him to the
it's
ground.
not hard to hit him with a dodgeball, but that hasn't seemed to be a problem so far.
Huge misbeat from the Austrians, going to lead to a press from England.
And just a wild throw back up top to Ritchie, who handles it, guarded by Waters, and Ritchie back into a corner here. You got gets around Waters. He has the reset to use as the pass is disrupted by Malpass, and ooh, that's going to be a body block there. Malpass is going to go to the box.
I think that's a pretty ticky-tack call, which again we can expect from this crew, but England are going to need to adjust and just deal with the head referee they've been given for this time slot.
Yes, second yellow card.
So that is, now I haven't been keeping a tally, but perhaps I should have, because I think that's the 4th or 5th card.
It's
ooh,
also the second on Malpass. He will no longer be available for the rest of this game.
that is a huge blow to the offense right now.
Andy Hull will serve those penalty minutes.
Now they have a bit of insurance space here, right? They're up 4.
Same on this side.
But
Code?
without your full offense and Austria in scoring position, you suddenly...
Hayter Kriegel has a free shot at the hoops, although England's looking to beat him. It's going to be Karina Werner with a chance to throw that dodgeball.
Hayter Kriegel is going to have to just kind of float this one.
Off
And
the
misses
tee.
it off the crossbar! And wraps up McCartney from behind immediately, and that was a silly foul.
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite sayings from a play-by-play commentator who does ice hockey is guilt is a powerful motivator. I think Hayter Kriegel felt a little guilty. He missed that shot, wanted to make up for it, goes for the hit. It's from behind.
Oh, you hate to see that. So both teams once again with a player in the box, and this has become a card-heavy game.
Let's go, Ad.
Seb Waters announcing to his team they're going to control the pace, keep it slow until they win control back.
And Austria now with control for seemingly the first time as England comes up on offense. It has been a rarity this game, if at all. England on the far side. It's back slow, way back up to Brett, to Waters. Ritchie on the point defense. Ball goes back up to Brett. Down to low, immediately beat. That was Josie Rosa. And Ritchie's going to go on a run. Ritchie stopped by Waters, and now will slow up. Beaters are still down, and Ritchie's shot no good. So Ritchie ran into the defender. And now England will return to full strength as Hull comes in.
And Hayter Kriegel as well. Full 6-on-6 action again.
Pass down to Hull on the far side. He's a big player on the field physically. Up to Brett. Guarded by Hayter Kriegel. To Veal now in at keeper. Guarded by Ritchie.
Good pick.
And shot no good. And that'll be a reset to England as Austria tries to get control back off the 1.5 a beater play. It doesn't take. So Brett down to Veal on the other side of the field. Austria back in defensive position. And Veal getting around his defender. Nope, no good. They're calling it no good. I'm unsure why that was called no good.
It went through the hoop for sure.
was a dislodgement of that center hoop, although I couldn't tell which player hit off.
It was the Austrian beater, Simon Hackel, knocked it down. I believe as he was tagging it in.
So that wouldn't.
We're calling it no good. I suppose for not going through the hoop. We're certainly over here on the sideline, don't have the best view, although it looks pretty clean.
Some beater substitution for Austria now. It's Brondel along with Mahart. Ritchie on the far side. Over to Verge. Fakes. And inside pass, or perhaps it was trying to go over, was poor. As Hull's pass up to Brett, mishandled. It wasn't a great one. Brett feeds it, and Verger punches it away, and Ritchie's able to recover. Good defensive stand by Austria, capitalizing on England's mistakes.
Yep, Tash Ferenczi was the third player back for England, unable to handle that pass. And again, England, you need to be able to score those fast break goals. If you're going to do a pass that far up the field, it's got to be accurate.
So now Verger bringing it up for Austria, getting a second chance at it. England with dodgeball control, although I think I've just jinxed them perhaps. And Austria running to get it as England moving the other direction. It's Hull and a long pass down to Veal. Veal's shot outside. Back to Veal from Brett. And that one's gone.
Twice Veal hit the rim, and neither time did it go through. Bad luck there for the English player.
Austria was good to hustle and get back into defense after that long pass.
Huge press here from England.
Tash Ferenczi to Veal to Brett. Brett mishandles it. And we got a stoppage here. I believe there might have been a beater foul on the far side of the field. Behringer arguing her case.
So this game really has come in streaks, it feels like. England did make that adjustment we talked about early. They're doing a lot better job as quad ball defenders reading where the pass is going to go and beating the intended receiver to the place where the ball is ending up. They've been able to knock down a lot of passes and rather, even instead of knocking them down, catch them. Meanwhile, Austria's looked really good physically around the hoops, and they've really gotten enough hands in the way and arms on quad ball carrying players to really interrupt some shots. We'll see if they can really keep this up, but they're going to need to score some more goals if they want to keep pace with England here in this game.
I think they're capitalizing on exactly what England is doing wrong, which is not handling their passes. If these passes are accurate and they can make those shots land, then these.
Yeah, really, I mean, it's tough to stop when you don't have dodgeball control, especially if you're going to leave kind of the one dodgeball back to prevent fast breaks. Kind of takes it out of the play, prevents you from winning it. Although with one dodgeball on the ground here on the Austrian side, and Brondel looking to tap in, Austria might have their chance to win control right now.
And you've got Mahart able to protect there, and that was a great defense move by Austria to get control. As Veal is here on the near side, passing to Hull, back to Veal.
Barrington was able to win control there
yes,
for England.
Yes. You beat me to it. Veal to Brett, and this makes their offense a little easier as England's going to go 1.5. And feed inside to Hull is good. So Veal driving in, drawing that beat. Dan Trick blocking the beater for England, and that is a good goal.
Trick now is not going to let go of this dodgeball down in the Austrian end, even though there's two at his own hoops. And this is really just going to take a lot of energy out of all three of these beaters.
It is. It's offering England a chance to do a high press, as we're kind of seeing they're meeting them at midfield, right? And Brett is able to wrap up. Hoggle there, and the ball is intercepted going the other way. It's Emre. and she's wheeling and dealing, able to flip the final pass to Hull for the score, and that high pressure works out for England.
Yep, after Austria scored to make this 4-3, England has gone on a 6-0 run and now lead 10-3.
And that was an interesting play by Trick there, right? Could you call it a trick
Definitely,
play?
yeah.
I'm so sorry. Waters back in at keeper, receives the pass from the hustle play from Houghton. Back to Houghton now, and Houghton just motors into a goal.
This high press is really working for England now. Clearly an adjustment they made out of this heat break, and that really is paying dividends.
And they are taking more care of the ball. You'll notice those past few plays, those passes found their receivers. That's exactly the adjustment they needed. It's Austria, I think, is putting up more of a fight in the dodgeball game. Control has been more fluid. England still has the upper hand.
I think, although, it might even be working against Austria. Because when it's fluid, it seems like a lot of dodgeballs on the ground, and 4v4, just chasers playing against each other, England seems to have the upper hand.
The passing game is much crisper than Austria, certainly.
That is second yellow.
We have just learned that Andres Heider-Kregel has received contact to the neck yellow card. It is his second yellow, so he is ejected from this game and will not be able to play anymore. There's no penalty time served because the goal was good. So his sub, Felix Mitag, is just able to play immediately.
And that's an ejection on both sides, which is difficult, but neither being egregious, they'll be able to play in further games. Mutauer down all the way to Mitag, intercepted by Houghton. And Houghton, he's got a lot of speed, decides to feed into Low, and that is good from Beck's Low.
This is more the game England thought they were going to have. It seems like it took them 5 or 8 minutes to really figure out how they feel at this World Cup, playing in this humidity, playing in this time zone. They've really figured it out and taken control of this game as we hit the 18-minute mark.
And really the passing game, as Austria brings it up on the other side, beat at the top of the key, and it'll be a turnover, and Houghton, it's free. It's the easiest goal of his life. There seemed to be confusion that the keeper was beat at the top of the key, but it hit him pretty squarely.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of lucky maybe not to get a card on that one, but they called it no harm, no foul, and the easy England goal.
I'm sure England would prefer the goal.
18-20.
As Mitauer and Verger work the top.
Good dodge.
Yeah, that no-look beat was unable to land. As they move it to the far side, that's Kasi back up to Mitauer, and
It was a stop play because the dodgeball ended up under the scaffolding that's holding up our live stream camera. So it's just being awarded to Orage, who was the player who was there, and now we're going to start up again with all 3 balls on the field.
This is why I like you, Keegan. You pay attention to these things, you see them. I would have been clueless. So a lot more passing up top, which this is the most passing on this play that we've seen than almost the entire game for Austria. Verger looking to make a move. Verger stripped by Houghton. She was posturing too much. And Houghton moving to the inside. One to beat. To Waters. To McCartney to slam down.
The Austrian bench doesn't like the excess passing or maybe the two-handed slam, but certainly wasn't egregious. And personally, I like to see England really feeling good about themselves given the extra pass there.
And that is truly the difference on offense right now, the ease of which they did that combination passing to get that goal.
Yep, all of England has really been able to run in transition, and it kind of looks, they know now that they've gotten into this groove, they're looking for it. They're looking for their teammates to pick off these passes, and once they do, they're sprinted down the field. And this stoppage is for an Austrian timeout.
So England, I feel you're feeling pretty good going into this timeout, right? You're up 11 goals. The game plan is working. You were a little muddled in the middle there, but you've kind of found your footing. Austria, you can tell the body language is different, right? Austria, it's a lot of hands on hips and heads hung a little bit. I really think the adjustment they need to make is they need to coalesce more between their beaters and their chasers to find more looks, because right now it's almost exclusively passing on the outside.
Definitely, and being on the losing end of a game that turns into a blowout is not fun at all, but being on the losing end of a game that's a blowout because the other team is running on you is the worst. It feels like you can't get anything going the second you leave your keeper zone, the second you get on the other half of the field, you're already being pressed. It's really hard to dig out of a hole when the other team is really feeling that good.
And with these multiple stoppages, we're hoping, at least the Austrians are hoping, that this is a stalling momentum. It's something where they can reset themselves.
It's getting better and worse at the same time.
And the English team can maybe lose a bit of momentum.
You choose to keep the dodgeballs in the quadball game, or just are able to play well with all the dodgeballs looking towards the flag runner.
We're starting back up now with Austria coming up on offense. It's Mittauer at the keeper position for them. He's got Mittag to his left and Verger to his right. Mittag. Pass to Mittauer. It's a strong tackle from Houghton, and looks like we'll have a stoppage there.
Injury stoppage.
Yep, we're going to take
an injury stoppage.
We will take that injury timeout and be back when we can.
Medical assistance. Reset you. Well done, Mark. Beats us 40 seconds.
We are back. The Austrian player, Felix Mittag, was able to walk off under his own power. He's all right.
So a big long pass, kind of a taste of their own medicine, except it's intercepted by McCartney, given to Waters. They're going the other way. Transition back to McCartney. Goal. So Austria recognized the situation. They had a lot of space in between. The beaters were out of position. Mittenauer went for the long pass, and it was just easily intercepted.
Very easily. I mean, the player's not open if there's a defender back, and Wajbard for Austria really never had a chance at that quad ball, as the seekers have been released.
It's Wagner and Amer Jeffrey for Austria and England respectively, as Ritchie takes a hard hit, and that goal is good. It looked a little low.
I thought it went through.
And perhaps I just had a slightly different angle than you, but if they're calling it good, I'm sure it's good.
It would make it 15-4 and be Austria's first goal since they scored to make it 4-3.
An incredible run by England here, as I think Amer Jeffrey for England had a little bit of a collision.
Number 18, yellow card.
Yellow card number 18, contact to the head. That's for England. That's Ed Brett.
So the goal is good and there will be no time served because the goal was good.
So a face-off at the flag runner here. It's Bill Orridge against Simon Hackl.
Oh, good pass play for the Austrian beaters to win control.
That was such a good play by Hackl.
Not going to win control, though, after the good effort from Orridge.
Amer Jeffrey getting some alone time with the flag runner.
Good
Dodges
dodge.
the beat.
Ed Brett, easy goal after being fed by Aaron Veal. Great little give and go.
It was great. Aaron Veal, noticing exactly where the defenders were, took one step to the inside after driving forward. Ed Brett right there. Simple goal.
Number 17 of Austria. Yellow card, contact after beat.
Contact after beat from number 17, Sumon Hakel. So no time served for that penalty after the good English goal.
Amer Jeffrey looks like he's going to take an injury sub here in the Seeking game, and it's going to go to Elliot Fisher now.
Fisher a head and shoulders taller, so we'll see how that changes up the game.
Matt Cooper is an extremely physical flag runner, but he is on the shorter side.
As Austria will bring it up, it's Richie once more. And a big ooh from the crowd is almost a catch from England. Richie working against Veal. Richie gets the corner. Richie's driving in. It's another goal for Richie.
No, called no good.
No good.
I guess we're calling that one not going through the hoop.
We just must have a bad angle on the table.
Matt Cooper, realizing the size mismatch, is content to just keep backpedaling against Fisher here.
That was a great look by Austria there on offense. It must have just been the last second defensive push that did not allow that goal to go. As Veal brings it up on the side here, favorite receiver Brett.
Ruben Thompson now seeking for England.
And it might be a little seeker by committee to try and get it quick. Veal kind of doing a lot of running around. Austria keeping the defense tight. Richie on the point defense.
Austria does have their quad ball here on defense, or their dodgeball on defense in the quad ball game.
Along with Tezraita. Veal calls for the pick. Tezraita loses his broom, and that goal is no good. It was too high.
I think Simon Hackle actually attempted to knock the quad ball out of the air with his dodgeball, but Ruben Thompson has come down with a catch. I'm unsure if it's clean. I was not looking at it, but Cooper immediately puts the tail back on the short, so I think we're going to call it no good.
We've received confirmed call that the catch is no good, illegal wrap. So can't wrap him up, can only go for that flag.
Just checking.
That goal was no good. And it looks like
it's going to be inbound to Ed Brett of England.
So Brett, one defender directly in front of him, gets beat, and so now Veal receives it at the top. Austria keeping it very tight, and it looked like Foley laid out at the seeker position. I didn't even see who hit him.
Neither did I.
But all of a sudden, he's sliding on his back on the ground. It was clear that he received a hard hit. Illegal beat to the head.
So that's Barrington.
Barrington
I thought
received a call
had a
early in the
yellow
game.
earlier.
And so Barrington
Third
now ejected.
time.
This is now the third ejection of this game.
So for American viewers who have now for a few years in MLQ and USQ been used to 3 yellows before you receive a red, in IQ8 is still just 2, and that's come into play 3 times now in this game.
And the foul is there for a reason, right? We need to be protecting these players. The illegal beat to the head, it's there for a reason, but it is hard when your beater does that, and now you have to play down with the flag runner on the field with the beater and not on the field.
Yep, and Karina Werner is going to be serving this penalty time on behalf of Lucy Barrington.
So Austria gets an easy break here, and they're able to regain control, hopefully. It's Verger on the far side, running it in. Verger posturing, finds Richie. Richie making a move, and Richie, it looked like a good goal. That one, he put his hand through the hoop.
You can't be called for a missed shot if you dunk it.
We do have a stoppage. There was on the far side of the field, the opposite side from where Richie was, rather, there was a hand up from a referee. And that was a Richie on that play. No foul. Goal is good.
Yep, so indeed. Goal is good. 16-5 in favor of England. Flag runner catch worth 3 points. Or 30 points if we say the score correctly, 160-50.
Amer Jeffrey getting some time alone with that flag.
Oh!
It's so close, but not there.
I thought he had that in his right hand.
England content to pass on the far side of the field. Now to the near side. Point defense trading off with Reichenja.
Tail falls off Cooper. England uses the time to sub out Seekers.
And a missed pass from Veal is good. It's just errant, and Austria will take that one out of bounds. So that's a free turnover for Austria. We'll see if they can capitalize as Richie's surveying his option. Goes back to Verga.
Fischer had it and dropped it.
Verga, big pass to Richie. Over to Reitinger. No good. Reitinger bobbled it, and it went into the hands of Lowe.
I think that's a goal if Reitinger can pull that one down.
Definitely wants that one back. And England back into full strength with beaters, now with control at the center of the field. Hull at the top, guarded by Reitinger. And Austria pulling back their defense just a bit. And it looks like they're content. No, Richie was just moving out of the way.
Middle hoop, top hoop is open for England if they want to shoot.
And it looks like that's a back to hoops as it looks like England has gotten the flag. Ruben Thompson, there was a cheer from the far side.
They ran through a 3-person seeker rotation twice. Finally, on the second chance, Ruben Thompson, the third person down in that rotation, is able to come down with the catch. So a catch here for England does just immediately end the game as they are the leading team. If Austria were to come down with the catch, we could either play to a set score or Austria could concede the game, which Hong Kong did against African nations this morning.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep. I would not be surprised if Austria did that, being down by so much, if they were able to come away with the catch. But also, this discussion with the refs, it looks like it's going to go in favor of England and the catch likely to be called good.
We'll hear now from Michael Clark-Polner, who came out of the huddle but is now headed back into the huddle.
Looking at the English bench for some reason, unless there was a seeker foul before the sub.
He seems to be explaining something to the English manager now.
There is no catch.
No catch.
Illegal substitution by the seeker.
There was an illegal substitution by the seeker. How often do you hear an illegal substitution foul?
Blue card to the seeker of England.
Not
Substitution.
often at all. It's also very surprising that the play continued for so long after the illegal substitution. They weren't made to go back to hoops and sort everything out. The only thing I could think is that either the player coming off dismounted well before the sideline, or they did it above the keeper zone line. I know they've been doing their subs right on that corner cone. Perhaps they were a few feet to the wrong side of it.
So Thompson will take a little trip to the box. Blue card, non-stacking, so no foul danger there. And now you're going to test my knowledge of the rules. Is that a quad ball turnover or an illegal substitution foul?
I don't think it should be, and it's not.
All right, so England will maintain control on the near side of the field here with Banan Emre. The English offense pretty spread out. The Austrian defense fairly compacted, although Richie comes out now just a bit. Bill
Fred Klee also now seeking for Austria.
Hull practically a leisurely jog to the keeper zone.
And good defense there from Austria to get the turnover. But Hull won't let it go, knocks the ball down.
Hull's pass to Houghton, back to Amre, and it looks like this is the English strategy now. Pass it around, stall, maybe give your seeker some time. They don't seem to be in any sort of urgent drive to score. Back to Lowe.
I'm recalling for it near side.
handicap!
Hull. Emre.
With the England beaters really setting up a wall around Matt Cooper, the flag runner, and the English seeker in the box, Matt Cooper's getting a huge breather here. We'll see if that means he can last a while longer.
Houghton to Hall. Guarded by Middenauer. And Amre's shot no good. Picked up by Lowe. Lowe looking for the pick. Reset used. And Lowe back to Amra as finally Austria put a little pressure on there as that errant pass went. There was Reitenja on the pressure. And now the seeker, the English seeker, Thompson back in. And now Thompson has a catch.
Cooper shakes his head immediately. I don't know if he's saying it's no good or I shouldn't have let him catch there. Not a lot to say to the refs, though, so I think from the flag runner's perspective, it's a clean catch. No conversation.
And that will do it for England, Austria. England with a decisive win, 190-50.
So England, pot 1 team in Pool B, take care of business against the pot 3 team, Austria. And Austria now 0-2 to start their day after losing to India in that first matchup.
It's been a tough 2 games. I'd be interested to see the other games against Mexico and France, how they end up faring.
So this game was live on Pitch 4. We will be back with you soon for the next game here, which is going to be Brazil versus Japan. If you would like to switch to watch either of the other pitches, although it looks like both of those are also inactive right now, again, you can just go to that IQA YouTube page, find the live streams from there. Also check out quadball.one to follow along with scores for the games that you can't have up on your live stream. And with that, we will be back with you soon.
I'm a crew member on football. Are you taking it back this time? I'm going to charge you.